All right, we've got no choice. Call the Ghostbusters.
Regal, the scourge of Carpathia, the sorrow of Moldavia, command.
Oh, command me, Lord.
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Okay, welcome everyone to the Hudson Valley Slime Time. This is a podcast we put together to help spread the word of who we are, what we do, and where we'll be. My name's Jason, and I'm the marketing director. I'm joined with my co-host Matt and our special guests Tara and Pete. So Matt, why don't you help get us started by letting people know a little bit more about us?
Hello, I'm Matt. I am a co-founder and executive director and Jason's co-host for Hudson Valley Slime Time. And we are a small part of Hudson Valley Ghostbusters, Inc., a 501c3 nonprofit organization that cosplays for charity. A lot of people have questioned what a 501c3 actually does. We have a system of checks and balances because we are officially recognized by the IRS to operate as a charitable donation fundraiser.
Yes, and as a 501c3 throughout the Hudson Valley, we do all kinds of events. We do Comic Con, street fairs, parades, sporting events, trunk or treats, birthday parties, food drives, car shows, theater appearances. Pretty much, if you go on to raise money for a charity, we can come help out.
A lot of people might be asking what we do and what we offer at these events that we do. We have a slime lab for the kids. All the kids love the slime. Parents love it too, except when it gets on their carpet. We have our new mobile photo booth where you can pick a spooky background, Ghostbusters themed or otherwise, to get your photo with. We do ecto appearances. We have merchandise. And also some large Stay Puft inflatables that we use for people to take photos with.
Oh yeah, and we have tons of props that we have at these events too, between packed PKE meters, slime blowers, ecto goggles, traps. We even have an animated Vigo portrait, which is actually really awesome.
That's one of my favorite new additions.
And we also have an amazing dancing toaster. That's right, we did have a nice show for us in Saratoga last time. Uh-oh, we lost Pete.
Yeah, we did.
So tell us about what charities we typically work with.
We work with all different kinds of charities. We work with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, Pets Alive, Fearless, which is a domestic abuse shelter, Columbia Green Humane Society, Special Olympics, Trevor Project, St. Jude. And again, if you have a specific charity in mind, we are more than happy to accommodate and work with them also.
So hello, as I had said earlier, my name is Matt. I am the executive director, co-founder of Hudson Valley Ghostbusters, Inc.
And I am Jason. I am the marketing director with Hudson Valley Ghostbusters. And today with us, we have Pete. Pete, would you like to give everybody a brief description about you and what you do?
Sure, I'm the community outreach coordinator for Hudson Valley Ghostbusters. I do a lot of networking and, have my fingers in setting up a lot of the events.
Great, thank you.
And also joining us is a fellow co-founder, our chief financial officer, and also my wife, Tara Sobel. Hi, Tara.
Hello. So as Matt said, I'm Tara. I am the chief financial officer, which means I say no a whole heck of a lot. And I am a co-founder. So super excited to be here with you guys today. Thanks.
Great, yes, and we are asking those questions that you say no to an awful lot. So we figured the more we ask, hopefully we get a few more yeses to slip in.
Well, I've come up with a lot of ways to say no.
All right. Well, speaking of being co-founders, Matt and Tara, both of you guys, you set this all up. Do you guys want to give a little background as to why you guys decided to start the Hudson Valley Ghostbusters? What led to everything?
Yeah.
I guess I'll kick off and then
I think on the first podcast, I actually listened to Matt talking about decorating his truck for Halloween. We had just been dating for, I don't know, was it even a year? And he put so much effort into putting everything on the truck. The thought of him spending so many hours to take it off seemed like a lot of work. So we decided that he would leave it on and we would do some events to try and help raise funds. And the reason we became a 501c3 is actually because we went to an event and one of the family members was an attorney and actually asked us, why don't you guys consider being a 501c3? Because you're doing all of this great charitable work, and they also helped us file all of the paperwork and get everything completed. So that was a really fortuitous event, and it felt a little like fate.
Now, I mean, I've been here almost 6 years now, and you guys were doing this probably at least a year or two before I joined.
Yep.
How do you guys feel, where we are today? I mean, like where we, from where we started to where we, the amount of people we have and the shows and events that we do. And, I mean, what, are we meeting your guys' expectations or, or
Exceeding from my perspective.
Yeah, I'll agree with Tara. This has far exceeded what we ever thought it would become.
kind of blown up and just kind of grown?
Yeah, the amount of funds that we've been able to donate has progressively increased year over year, which we are just so incredibly proud of. The team, you, Peter, and Jason were some of the first outside of our little core starting group who joined us. And it's really become like a little extended family. I look forward to our company picnic every year. The chats are always blowing up, so I sometimes have to kind of put my phone on silent, but it's been great to really have this extended group of folks.
I fill her in on the important stuff.
Honestly, I can't even keep up with a lot of the stuff in the chats, between Discord and the Facebook chat. And there's so many different topics and things like that. I cannot keep up on it. So I try to chime in when I can here and there, but it's just, sometimes it's way too much.
Well,
too
when you have
fast, too.
Almost 30 people chatting in one room. You're going to get a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about how you came to find the Hudson Valley Ghostbusters.
So actually, at that time, I was working from home, and I needed to get out of the apartment a little bit more. So I figured I had a uniform. I had just picked up a pack, and I was like, hey, let me go see if there's anyone by me. And then I went to GB Fans, and then Matt responded.
Actually,
So you didn't hound him like I did? What do I do? Where do I go? I don't know what to do.
No,
Actually,
Matt
at the time,
responded.
I remember we had a phone, and I answered, and you did not expect that.
Yeah, I did not expect you to answer because it was in the middle of a work day. But yeah, you responded.
Yeah, you and I chatted.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of my my favorite joining stories was when we first met Jason at Hudson. No, it wasn't Hudson. Hudson Valley Comic Con.
It was Hudson Valley. It was Hudson Valley Comic Con at the time.
Hudson Valley Comic Con. And I think Matthew tried to walk on stilts for the first time.
We'll talk about that.
We might have video of that needs to get edited in.
Yeah, Jay.
Tara, send me that video because I know Matt probably won't. I can edit it into
I
this.
have deleted it from eternity.
I occasionally watch it when I'm feeling blue just to give myself a little laugh. But I suspect our fun-loving nature drew Jason into the fold.
Well, it did. I mean, because I still do Comic Cons with my brother-in-law, selling some toys here and there, and that's what I was doing at that Comic Con. And you guys just happened to be right across the hall, the aisle from me. You were sitting there with your Ecto. You had the cornhole set out, playing cornhole all day and stuff, and and it was a 2-day event. So 2 days I sat there watching you guys having all this fun. And I saw the sign. You had a sign hanging up on the desk. It said like now hiring or looking for help, or I forget exactly what it said, but I just kept saying, I was like, that looks like a lot of fun, and and I did. I think I walked up to you, Tara, you and Awana, and I was talking to you guys for a little while about it, and yeah, and then when I saw Matt, it was right at the end of the event where Matt was trying out the stilts, and I'm trying to pack up.
Talk about that.
And I'm trying to pack up all my gear and stuff like that, and I just saw that, and yeah, that was it. It was just set in stone that I had to get involved. But there's been no stilts since, so we're gonna have to find some.
I definitely expected there to be more stilts after that event.
We'll have to have somebody do a cosplay with or actually we can Garaka now, and then the person dressed up can be in stilts, so they're nice and tall.
Max. Max.
We need to get Max. Max, you need to come to a show.
Yes, we miss you.
You're overdue.
Yeah, Max, if you're listening. So what was your favorite event, Peter, so far?
Oh gosh, I have way too many, Tara. Great, put me on the spot.
Jason can edit.
And I like how Tara's kind of taken over the hosting this a little bit here. She's asking questions.
Like,
all right, hang on. So, Pete, what is one of your favorite events?
Jeez, there's just so many, Matt. Put me on the spot, why don't you?
I'm gonna have fun editing that there. I'm just seeing.
Honestly, I think every single event I've done with the group has been way up there. It's just so much fun to see the kids come up and meet big screen heroes and then go away with a big smile on their faces.
Yeah.
And like as you all know, like I often bring my own son, and he just has such a blast. Getting all dressed up in his own uniform and everything. He just has such a blast there. So it just makes it even better.
Yeah, I don't even think I could pick a favorite episode, or a favorite show that we did, because I have fun at all of them. I mean, the outdoor events that where we're fighting hurricane winds and rain. Okay, yeah, they might not be amongst my favorite, but I'm still having a good time. Still a good story.
Still a good story. The outdoor events where we're facing 90-degree heat and canvas coveralls, that's not my favorite, but
again, like you said, you see the kids coming up having a smile on their face and everything, and it makes it all worth it.
Absolutely does.
Some of the after events are really fun too. Like, as much of a great time that we have at the events, when the team gets together and have dinner afterwards, or our company picnic, really love that kind of stuff too, because it just helps solidify us as a team.
Yeah. And a lot of other people, and I think a couple of us have mentioned it here, not
Absolutely.
just a team, but, an extended family, because we do all kind of we blend so well.
We have assembled a crack team of Ghostbusters.
It's organized chaos behind the slime making table.
Oh, it's chaotic chaos, Tara.
Yeah, especially events like Kids Expo there. That was chaotic, but fun.
Yeah.
My Kingston Kids
Best
back a
2-day
couple years
total.
ago. No, that was a one-day total.
That was a 1 day total. Yeah.
Oh, right. It
It beat 2 day. It beat.
Yeah.
I think it beat all our 2 day. I don't know if we have a 2 day total that was better. Did we?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe one.
Actually, I know for a fact we didn't, because I do the books.
Yeah, I'll go with what she said. She would know.
My Kingston Kids a couple years ago, that was chaos.
Yes, that was complete chaos. But again, another fun one.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, my kids were there to kind of help get the show going before we can even get in there.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 'cause we had hurricane rain, then sunshine, then parade.
Yes.
And then we had to get inside for slime making, and then we had to put on a show.
Yeah. So thank you, Zach and Caroline. Yeah. I also remember Matt making slime earplugs at that one because we were right up next to the speakers.
Oh yeah.
Matt has done that at a couple episodes, or I keep saying episodes, but a couple shows now. I've got podcast on the brain here. But yes, Matt has done that now several times, I think.
Yeah, probably, because they always put us next to the speaker or the stage or something loud. Okay, so since the last time we were on, had a major event in Ghostbusters news going on. We had the premiere of a new film in the Ghostbusters franchise, a continuation from the original movies, and a sequel to Afterlife, which came out a couple years ago. And one of our members who was on today, Pete, got the unique experience of getting to go to the New York City premiere a week before the worldwide premiere. Pete, how did you swing that, and how'd you like it?
It was just luck. I happened to have a friend who had an extra invite. It was really cool, not gonna lie. Jason Reitman and Gil Kennan came in and introduced the movie. Got to briefly meet Logan Kim. I got to meet Jason Fitzsimmons of Ghostbusters News, Jim Maritato of Extraplasm. I even got to ride in Ecto-1 NJ on the way back to Grand Central after the movie. So, it was pretty cool. There were a lot of flight suits.
And obviously, having our community outreach coordinator be the one to meet all these people was great.
Yeah, hopefully you gave out lots of business cards.
I gave out as many as I could.
So, after getting to do that, I got to join Pete with about half a dozen of our other members, and the following week, we got to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Oh, I was able to catch it,
a
Jay,
day
don't worry.
early at the Regal 4DX Theater, which was an experience, let me tell you. I've never really done a true 4DX theater showing. I didn't know what to expect, and my mind is still blown. But yeah, it was definitely an awesome experience. The Times Square Regal, they were so nice to us and accommodating, and it was a sea of flight suits and proton packs. It was great.
I can get going here. On Friday, March 22nd, I did an appearance up in Hudson at the Spotlight Theater. Had my Slime 1 out front. Several of us were inside, had a nice setup, handed out a bunch of posters. You know, got to finally get to see the movie, which was a huge plus. And then, unfortunately, when I left the movie, though, you know, winter moved in and put about 2 inches of snow all over my car, which made it very interesting because I don't keep an ice scraper inside that car, so I'm there with my bare hands scraping snow off the car. in my Ghostbusters uniform, I'm there, you know, scraping snow off the car.
Winter, don't you mean Garaka?
Well, yeah, I guess if we're gonna just go that route, yes, Garaka left me a present with all the snow.
Look, it was thematically appropriate. It's fine.
And rolling right along into the premiere weekend on the 23rd and 24th, we were at the Regal Theater in Fishkill. We were set up in the lobby. We had Mr. Stay Puft in all his 15-foot glory, almost touching the ceiling in the lobby. We had our props. We had half a dozen or more Ghostbusters. We were giving out posters, and we were taking photos with our photo booth and raising money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
It was a good month for St. Jude's
Yeah, we donated over $1,000, right?
Yeah, between two events. That was great. That kind of goes back to where we were talking about, you know, how far we've grown. Now we're, you know, actually being able to make nice, you know,
sizable donations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Moving along just in time for baseball season, this past weekend, as of recording, we had a doubleheader, 2 events on the same day. North team and South team handling things on opposite end of the Hudson Valley. Jason, you want to talk about Stillwater Comic Con?
Yes, April 6th, we were up in Stillwater. We were actually in the Stillwater Library, which was actually an amazing-looking building. They had us in the crafts room, and we were all set up with the slime lab. Had Stay Puffed out there, a lot of good photo opportunities. You know, had a great time, raised some money for the Stillwater Library.
And as I said, on the same day, we were down in Poughkeepsie for the Poughkeepsie Spring Fest, I believe they're calling it now. We were set up at Vassar College on Joss Beach lawn. We were making slime and fighting the wind. We might have lost our tent that day. I still have to check on that.
I still haven't issued the PO to purchase another one, but
exactly.
I'll see how the damage is and then decide.
Well, we need one because, you know, for an upcoming event, you know, Sam's expecting one.
Yeah, so we made a ton of slime that day. We went through almost 2 gallons of glue, which is a lot for a 2-hour event. And we 3/4 of the way filled up the bed of Ecto-1 with food donations for Dutchess Outreach.
Awesome. And leading into what we have coming up next month, we actually have May 4th and 5th. We will be up in Saratoga for the big Saratoga Comic Con. That's actually one of our biggest shows. 2-day event. We have it all. We have our slime lab. We have all our merchandise. We have, usually have the Ecto parked out front. And I think we usually raise money there for the Foundation for Suicide Prevention, correct?
That is correct.
Yep.
And then later on, May 19th, we're still working out the details. We will be up, we're planning to be up in Central Park in Schenectady for the walk and roll for Spina Bifida, and that's going to run from 10:30 to 2:30. Like I said, we're still working out some details on that, but we should hopefully be up there.
And we have 1 or 2 other events we may be nailing down the details for, so just check our calendar for upcoming details on those.
You can find our calendar at our website, hvgb.org.
And I think, Peter, you forgot to mention that you are also our webmaster, not just our community outreach coordinator.
That's true. I'm our webmaster. I'm our Google admin.
Now we have to start all over.
All right, hold on. Let me stop the recording, and let's re-erase everything. All right. Well, speaking of everything that we've done, why don't we talk about the new movie? We all like it. We all got to see it. What are your guys' thoughts on the movie and the way it went?
I liked it. I thought it was a very entertaining movie.
Yeah, I greatly enjoyed it. I walked out of the premiere very, very happy with the result.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were talking about the all the reviews, and like the reviews weren't positive and stuff like that, but it almost seems like when a movie gets bad reviews and I go watch it, that means I love it.
Yeah.
And this was the same thing. I went in there and I had a great time from beginning to end. I loved the way it went, everything. And it had some of the old feel to it in certain scenes, and then obviously with new characters, new actors, definitely has a good feel to it.
And I really enjoyed that they played to the fans and their audience. One of my favorite scenes was Paul Rudd reciting, when there's something strange.
Oh.
Who are you gonna call? I loved it. It made me smile. It was a movie that I smiled most of the way through.
Yeah, when him and Callie are in the, I don't know, was she doing laundry? Were they doing laundry at the time or something like that? And he was just like,
they were packing.
I was packing, yeah. And he was just like, busting makes me feel good, just just.
I got a big hit of nostalgia early on in the movie when they were talking about the Ghostbusters franchise as a whole, and they were playing commercials that I used to watch when I was a kid for cereal and toys, and talking about, the Statue of Liberty walking down the street in Ghostbusters 2.
Yes, that was huge, because there's always been so many, like, is Ghostbusters 2, is it canon? Is it canon? And, there was some, slight Easter eggs for it in Afterlife, but, it was very obvious.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Ray's Cult was there. Ghostbusters 2 was never not canon. It's always been.
You've seen the chats on, that so many people are like, it's not, or it is, or
Yeah, they put those scenes in there like, yes, it's canon. Shut up.
Yeah, it was very obvious. It's very obvious. So.
So one of the other things that I do on the team is also I do some 3D printing stuff. I 3D print. Sometimes I 3D print gear. Like last year, I 3D printed the Extreme Ghostbusters Proton Pack. I enjoyed the fact that in the scene where Gary was talking to Phoebe through the door, there was a 3D printer, like almost an identical model to mine, right behind him on the table.
Oh, and I have a story about that too. I was sitting next to Pete for the premiere that I went to with him, and he kind of nudges me and he whispers into my bad ear something about a 3D printer, and I had to ask him later. I'm like, "What were you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, the 3D printer." I'm like, "Oh, yes, I obviously noticed that."
I was gonna say I only saw the movie once. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I desperately need to watch it multiple times more. So
I could feel Matthew's eyes light up at some of the props, and the gears I could hear turning in his head as he sat next to me on how he was going to build them. It was great.
I know for a fact he's working on that wrist-mounted thrower.
It's on the list.
I mean, I was thinking about if I were taller, I'd put the horns on, but not quite tall enough to be the villain.
That's where the stilts come in. Yeah, see?
Again,
Get practicing on the stilt.
Not super coordinated, but the other thing that got me like right in the beginning of the movie is when the Ghost Corps logo shows up. And the fact that Ghost Corps has been so supportive of all of their fan groups. So, just a little shout out to Ghost Corps. And they sent us posters to give out for the movie. Just all the support in the world that we get as fans and, franchises. Without their support, we couldn't do some of the good work that we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
it's true. And, to launch off of what Tara was saying about all the different Ghostbusters franchises, if you ever want to take a look at the ever-growing list, you can take a look at whoyougonacall.org. This is your friendly neighborhood Ghostbusters franchise directory.
Speaking of that, would you like to go into more depth on that, Pete, since how you are one of the masterminds behind the scenes?
Sure, I'm one of the admin team on whoyougonacall.org, and I've been primarily working on the back-end design, so how the data is all stored, how the API works, how it delivers the data to the front end. I'm working on it with Ryan Espin of New York City Ghostbusters. He is our primary front-end person. Bob Anderson of Windy City Ghostbusters and Bob After Dark. Give his show a good listen. Who is our face. He's the one that everybody knows. Jacob Bartlett of Circle City Ghostbusters, who is our art guy, and Joe Riccadelli of Atlanta Ghostbusters, who is just he's another member of our admin team. Just take some of the load off of us, off the other four of us.
Awesome.
So grateful to have those kind of partnerships, and really appreciate the community of Ghostbuster groups out there who are here to support each other. I know that Matthew and Pete are in some other officer chats with these across the country groups. So it's nice to have this kind of community who are all focused on doing the same thing, which is charitable work.
Absolutely.
It really is amazing how each group is so willing to reach out and help other groups.
Yeah. So aside from having support from Ghost Corps with everything we do, we also support each other. Help out, answer questions, things like that. It's great.
I don't think anybody's gotten our proprietary slime recipe, though. We guard that pretty closely.
It's on our website.
With exact proportions?
No.
See, that's that's just like the ingredients list on most packages. It's like, yeah, they list the ingredients, but you don't know how much.
Right.
Exactly.
I couldn't make a Twinkie based on their partially hydrogenated oils. The ingredient list.
That's a big Twinkie.
I remember, I think it was Christmas 2 years ago, I made the big Twinkie and it was awful.
I remember you when you found that and you were so excited.
Yeah, that excitement dwindled very quickly.
And was it Christmas? Was it Christmas of last year when you had the Twinkie candy canes?
Yes.
Oh, I just threw those out.
You laugh, but I just went through our cupboard, in our kitchen and threw out a bunch of candy and stuff like that from Easter from last year to make room for Easter candy from this year,
And the cycle continues.
And and then I found
doesn't
some.
last that long in our house.
I found some candy canes and stuff, and for who knows how many Christmases ago in the back behind stuff and just.
All right, so since we're talking about it, favorite Easter candy or springtime candy, because not everybody is Easter celebrator, but doesn't mean we can't all enjoy the candy.
My favorite, especially when Easter time comes around. Mine is the Cadbury eggs.
Seconding.
The classic with the egg
classic traditional
filling.
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's something you can readily get all year round or not, but typically I only see it this time of year, and I try to buy a small box of 4 for each of the kids' Easter baskets, and then I buy a box of 4 for me to hide in the top of the cupboard. So because just for me.
I concur with Jason, because you can only find it in like the couple of weeks around this time of year. The rest of the year, it's Reese's Cups.
I
Yeah,
think
I
for
like
me,
the
it's
proportion of the Reese's peanut butter egg.
Well, Reese's peanut butter anything, as long as it's got Reese's peanut butter in it, and just give it to me, I'm happy.
Yeah. That's a win-win all around, but that's something you don't get the eggs all year round, but
Like, you get the Christmas trees, you get the bats around Halloween.
yeah, they have all different for different seasons
But
and
for
stuff.
some reason, those shapes just hit a little different for me. I like that ratio. It's got a little more peanut butter, a little less chocolate than the traditional
Okay.
cup.
That's fair, I completely
Okay.
agree. I will devour any peanut butter cup, so it's fine.
But I think my favorite Easter egg, along with the Cadbury theme, I like the crunchy shell Cadbury eggs. But I
Oh,
like
the-
Cadbury in general.
They have the crunchy chocolate like inside and like the
Well, it's creamy chocolate, but it's got the hard sugar shell.
Like the mini ones that almost look like a Jordan almond.
Yes, but they're all chocolate. None of that healthy nut stuff. Matthew, we
did
didn't
you-
hear your favorite.
yeah.
My favorite has always been for Easter the Russell Stover chocolate bunny, and that goes back because that was something my parents always got for my sister and I when we were kids, every Easter without fail. So I've kind of just carried on the tradition. Actually, Tara buys them for me now, but
Any particular one, or you try to find the biggest one you can because they got some pretty big ones now in the store.
no, usually just the standard size one, or if I can't, one of the mini ones. I don't want to get one of the huge ones. That's too much.
Although I did get him a twin pack this year because I happened to see them at Sam's Club.
And they didn't stand a chance.
You know, now that you mentioned Russell Stover, Matt, it unlocked a memory. And one of the things that my grandmother and my aunt would always have when I was a kid were the Russell Stover marshmallow eggs that came in almost like an egg carton.
Oh yeah, I remember
I
them.
remember those. Yeah. Well, the other thing that I grew up on this time of year are the jelly rings for Passover. So, like, the raspberry or the orange jelly rings.
I like the peach ones.
Peach was never a go-to in my house. It was either the citrus, the orange, or the raspberry. I got raspberry this year for our house, and they also came home. I did a little taste testing between two different macaroon brands. Manischewitz won in our house, so sorry, Streets,
So-
but yeah, Manischewitz was the winner.
Well, I was the hero, and I get rid of all those terrible ones for you.
You did. He is the best husband ever. Took one for the team.
Well, everyone, that is going to about wrap it up for episode 3 of Hudson Valley Slime Time. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future episodes, you can reach out to us, podcast@hvgb.org. Send us an email, and we'll get back to you. You can follow us on our social media, Hudson Valley Ghostbusters, Inc. You can look on Instagram, the site formerly known as Twitter, and we are currently in Facebook jail, but if we do get out, we will let you know, and you can find us on Facebook also. And if you're interested in finding a Ghostbusters group that is not Hudson Valley Ghostbusters, Pete, where are they going to go?
whoyougonacall.org. That is with a Y-A, just like in the song. Go there. If you are in another franchise, go there and submit your information so you can get on the directory. And also, don't forget to check out our website, hvgb.org, hudsonvalleyghostbusters.org. Both URLs work. And you can find our calendar there. You can find a contact form there. You can even find a whole bunch of pictures of us at events there.
Yeah, and if you want, you can also go to our Redbubble store, and you can just go in the search bar and put in HVGB, and you can find all kinds of really cool Hudson Valley Ghostbuster themed merchandise, from hats, T-shirts, cups. Actually, you can even decorate a bathroom with some of the stuff we got in there. You can get a Hudson Valley Ghostbuster shower curtain and a bath mat, wall clock, and
The toilet cover?
yep. No, I did not see. They did not have that in there, unfortunately. I'll have to send them a message and say that we've had multiple requests. for a toilet seat cover. We want to be able to outfit a complete bathroom.
Are you okay, Tara?
Okay, it's down.
Good job, Jay. You almost made her do a spit take.
You did. My laptop would not like that.
And then when we get that on there, you have to put by popular demand.
Matt, you do know that means you have to decorate one of your bathrooms so we can get a photograph and actually use it as publicity, you know.
All right.
I've already vetoed the duvet cover. I said maybe a throw blanket.
But yes, check out our store. There's all kinds of great stuff. Like I said, there's, you know, cool hats like this. You know, I even got a second hat that I just got in the mail. All kinds of great stuff on the Redbubble site. So check it out. Search Hudson HVGB and all our merchandise will pop right up.
All right, everybody. That has been it for the Hudson Valley Slime Time podcast. We'd like to thank our fellow officers and guests, Tara Sobel and Peter Natali. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. You guys were great tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Matt.
And I am Jason. And we are your hosts for the Hudson Valley Slime Time podcasts. Remember, have fun, play with slime.
Okay, so I'll see you later, huh? I'll give you a call.